Today, we're going to visit the #1 tourist destination in the United States, Orlando, Florida, to see how the EV charging landscape there has so vastly improved over the last few years. And we're going to go on this EV adventure with a friend. We're also going to check out the largest build for the Mercedes-Benz High-Power Charging network to date. Stick around. So something you may not know about me is 12 years ago, I actually lived in Orlando. Many of you also had the same experience that I did. I was a college program participant, and 12 years later, now I'm an EV driver, but still have pretty good roots in Orlando. So Jim from Jim's EV Ventures was more than willing to meet with me and to help me today navigate one of the landscapes that was not on my radar 12 years ago, the landscape of EV charging in Orlando. And just getting on the way here, I could tell you it's insane, it's impressive, it's still not enough.
It's not enough, for sure.
What we're going to do today is Jim is going to show me 2 or 3 of his favorite locations here in Orlando, and then we're going to end the day in Lake Nona.
The Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah, the
big boy.
Yeah, 20 stalls over there. So we're going to show you, because I guarantee you, if you have not been to Orlando, you are thinking about going to Orlando, or you're on your way here right now. There's massive conventions in town this week, I've learned. So
yes, there are.
Stay tuned for that. We're excited. Let's get started right here at Palm Parkway, IONNA.
Wawa, one of my favorite sites, even though they allow ICE cars to park in our slots, they're really not that bad.
Yeah.
You get an occasional icing here in these spots, but it's very rare. Right now there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people charging at I think there are 8 slots here. The accessible slots down here on the end is 1 each, CCS and NACS.
Yeah.
But the rest are divided up pretty equally here. Within 2 miles of where we're standing right now, there are 10 Mercedes-Benz chargers and 6 Electrify America chargers. And we'll take a look at those.
Sounds good. So let's talk about this sign that has caused a little bit of a ruckus amongst the EV community. There's actually an interesting parallel, I believe, between what IONNA is seeing with their partnership with Wawa and actually what Walmart is going through with designing their stations. So give us some context here for what these signs are saying and what they're not saying.
Well, the main thing they say is the slots here are welcome to all people, whether they're driving a EV and charging or not. So they can pull in and park there and do whatever they've got to do. For me, that's kind of a problem. I am in discussion with Wawa about this because this is a Wawa policy. It's not IONNA, because this also happens at all their Wawa stations with Teslas. So we'll find out what they have to say here over the course of the next 3 to 4 months. But I have been kind of vocal about it with them.
Yeah. So from what I can gather, this is actually code compliance in a way, in that you have a certain square footage of services within the Wawa itself, within the pumps, and you have to have a certain number of parking spots to accommodate everybody who wants to come to this location. And to fulfill that, these have to be available to all.
Yeah, but here's the question I asked them.
Okay.
They're also in violation of state law by allowing anything other than an EV to park in these slots, because it is a state law that EV slots are for EVs only.
Okay, so maybe there's a variance in there.
There has to be a variance, or they're just ignoring one of the laws.
Okay. So what does that have to do with Walmart? Well, one of the most common questions or comments that I get is when I show a new site, right now, I would say 90% of the time they're pull in, pull through. And everybody loves pull through. It's superior for its utility, right? Yeah. In a Walmart parking lot, you also have to consider that there has to be a certain number of spaces in order to be in compliance with the requirements for the square footage of the facility. By their nature, pull-through stalls take up way more space.
Right.
And that's why we like them. It gives us more space to charge while we're towing or whatever. So if the code has these requirements, and Walmart simply just cannot give up enough parking spaces and still be in compliance, they cannot do pull through, right? And so to me, there's an interesting parallel there right now because it's not a policy that anybody really particularly likes from IONNA and Wawa, but they have to do it.
Right.
People want Walmart to use their massive parking lots to the EV drivers' advantage, but they still have to think about their own customers that do not drive EVs and things like that. So it's, a little grace, I think, goes a long way, especially in Walmart's case, but maybe not with Wawa if it's state law or.
Yeah. But interestingly, back to one of my videos earlier about covering parking lots with solar. I did a video about that about a month and a half ago. There are 4 times as many parking places in the United States as there are cars. So
half of them are at Epcot.
I think you are correct.
I think I read that's the 3rd largest
parking lot
in the country.
It is.
Anyway, so maybe just a little bit of nuance to that conversation. I hope that we brought to this. Maybe not. I don't know.
We'll figure it out eventually, because eventually all these cars that burn gas will be gone.
All right, so let's take a look around this site here on Palm Parkway real quick. All right, Jim, your second favorite location in Orlando that you've brought me to?
Was actually my 3rd, but it's a good go-to.
Yeah.
This is an Electrify America station. It's only 6 stalls, but all 6 stalls were replaced shortly after the Electrify America HYC 400s were installed at the Florida Mall.
So that was March of 2025.
And this was upgraded in April of 2025.
Okay.
And it improved the availability of these chargers immensely. It went from 4 or sometimes 5 stations or slots operational to most of them are operational all the time now. Much more reliable. They did upgrade the transformer a little bit from 750 to 1,000, but it's still not near enough power when you've got all 6 slots in use.
I'll say I did in that March of 2025, I did use this station. Everybody was stuck at 90 kilowatts.
Right.
So it was being maxed out. Looks like now there's more throughput going through here. Certainly the new BTC Power units look great.
They work a lot better than the previous version of whatever they had there. And since these have been installed, just literally right across the street there are now 10 high-powered HYC 400s from Mercedes-Benz. That's now my second favorite spot in this area.
So let's go check it out. Alrighty, folks, so Jim and I are trying to get over to the Mercedes-Benz High-Power Charging Network, but the Vineland Premium Outlets, it's a Simon Mall property, slammed. So we might have to do B-roll here and just let Jim talk us through it. All right, Jim, so we've made it to our last stop, but we need to recap a couple of other spots before we get there. First thing, though, we're right now at the Mercedes-Benz High-Power Charging in Lake Nona.
Lake Nona.
It's not a charging desert, but it's a desert otherwise, nothing open. So
we got a almost a Barnes & Noble and a Home Sense.
Yeah, Home Sense was open. Thankfully, they had some vitamin water.
Yes, they did.
Out here. So we stopped as best we could over at the Vineland Premium Outlets, Mercedes-Benz High-Power Charging, and you would have thought it was Christmas Eve. But
it stays like that.
Yeah. Disney Housing, when I was on the program, was right next to it. And it's insane. And back then, people would walk over. Housing's over on the other side of Disney now, but that always added even more people to the area. So if you're charging in that area, pack your patience. But you mentioned you really like it. So what's going on over there?
I get there before 9 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
So it's an empty parking lot, and there's normally 1 or 2 other cars charging there. But at 9:05, it's like bees coming to a hive. It starts filling up, and by 10 o'clock, that entire parking lot is full. They're moving over into the overflow, and then on the backside of the Vineland outlet. And it stays like that 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Good throughput.
A lot of throughput.
Okay, so yeah, what's the price over there? Do you remember?
It's the same as it is here.
Okay, so 40 cents per kilowatt hour.
40 cents per kilowatt hour.
Okay, so that's a great deal for Mercedes-Benz High-Power Charging, expanding their footprint here in the greater Orlando area. All right, so we have made it to the Lake Nona Mercedes-Benz High-Power Charging location, and we're going to take stall 20. Yes, the highest number stall count in the entire network right now. Let's zoom in and see what we're paying today. Looks like it's 40 cents per kilowatt hour. That's a great price. So the first thing I notice is, since the last time I visited Mercedes-Benz High-Power Charging in Springfield, Missouri at Buc-ee's, they've now gone back and they've added in the other 2 cables that can go on an Alpitronic hypercharger. So now each stall can accommodate both CCS and NACS. That is a great addition. Let's go ahead and get the Kia Niro ready. That. And then we will plug in. Okay. Says that it's starting communication. And now it wants me to pay. So we're just going to do tap to pay today instead of using the ChargePoint app. $25 hold. We are authenticating. Go ahead, do the thing.
Charging started.
There we go. And there we go. Now, Mercedes-Benz has actually instituted a new feature. See this QR code right here? I can actually scan that with my phone. And now I get the information about this charging session on my phone. It says you are now charging, and then here is the page that they give you to track your charge. It says right now we're at 66 kilowatts. That's probably about right. This says 76, so there's a little bit of a delay, not much, but I guess the Kia Niro is going to get all she wants. So we need to get up pretty high to get back to Gainesville tonight. So we're going to let it charge, and we're going to meet with Jim again to go over this site and some other thoughts. All right, so all the way down there is number 20. And if we keep going, there's Jim. So they have, I believe, 5 on this side and 5 on the other side of this particular road in the middle of Lake Nona's new shopping district here. And you can see the other 5 right down there. All right, so something back behind the chargers here that's very interesting. Looks like you have a transformer for each side of the charging station. Again, these have been subdivided into groups of 5, so 10 ports total. And it looks like each one of these is 2 megawatt. So there's 4 megawatts of power at this site for 20 stalls. That's really nice. So one of the things that Mercedes-Benz has at their particular locations is this charge indicator that's visible from outside of the car. Can't really see it today with the sun, but it's a very interesting feature. This is kind of like a flagship feature for Mercedes-Benz High-Power Charging. These poles, they have lights, charging indicators, Wi-Fi in them. It's really easy to distinguish from afar who you're charging with. It's really a pretty cool advertising feature. Lake Nona, let's talk about this Mercedes-Benz high-power charging station, the largest in the network so far.
So it's 20 stalls and it's 11 posts. Now, why 11 posts with 20 stalls? The first 2 are accessible, and each post, each stall, if you will, has just 1 charger for that area. And then the rest are 2 per terminal.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a little different here. We know Mercedes-Benz has been trying to update this for the NACS conversion, but essentially Each charger has 2 stalls, but each stall has 2 handles. That would be CCS and NACS. So you got 4 handles per charger. It's kind of wild.
It is.
But when you're down there in the accessibles, they're dedicated. You can only choose one CCS, one NACS. You're not going to split power down there. And that's pretty standard for Mercedes-Benz at most of their sites.
One of the other most interesting things here, Len and I both have looked at it, is there are 2 2000 kVA transformers. So that's 4 gigawatts of power.
Yeah, 4 megawatts. It's a lot of...
I don't know why I'm thinking gigawatts.
one day. But I mean, it's a ton of power out here. You're going to need it for 20 stalls. And like I said, we expect this to fill up really fast. This is a growing part of Orlando. My wife worked out here, 8 years ago, and it was growing then. It hasn't stopped. We got a brand new Target here. Barnes & Noble, HomeSense, which is kind of like Home Goods, in the same family, Marshalls, TJ Maxx. And so it's a great area that's very lively.
Yeah, nothing's open yet. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, about 8 cars charging here right now with nothing open except HomeSense.
So Mercedes-Benz might be attracting the customers to this area. So another facet of retail charging here, maybe.
Correct.
All right. So that's a look at our favorite spots in Orlando for charging.
So far.
Yeah, that's the key word, so far. What's coming?
Get up north of Orlando into the Sanford area. My favorite Walmart is about to have its Walmart charger powered up.
Yep.
Crossing fingers.
Hopefully.
They've run into a couple of problems, but that's okay. Everything is ready to go. They just got to turn the power on. And there's a Target in Lake Mary that has 10 brand new chargers at Electrify America.
All right. What's coming new to the channel?
Nothing is new until Wednesday. And then I have a big surprise dropping Wednesday with a trip that I'm about to take. I'm getting on an airplane tomorrow morning, and I'll announce that on the channel as I travel out. And then at about 5 o'clock Tuesday afternoon, which will be June the 8th. Sound about right? No, June the 9th.
Yeah.
June the 9th at 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, which will be 2 p.m. in Pacific time. I have a very special announcement that I will make at that point in time that should intrigue people.
Okay. So if I don't get this video out in time and you hear about that, go find Jim's EV Adventures. I'm going to be tuned in, that's for sure. I'm very, very excited for what Jim's been cooking up. Your channel's been growing like crazy. It's insane. I love it.
And I hope it continues to grow that way. I'm all about helping people who drive EVs and who want to focus on green energy. That's where we're headed.
Yeah. So, hey, thank you so much for showing me around Orlando. Again, I had 8 months here, but, EV charging wasn't a thing back then for me or many people. But now, I mean, you couldn't turn a corner without seeing an EV, and they need somewhere to charge. So,
and just keep in mind, of the 4 places that we've looked at today, 2 years ago, there was only one of those in existence.
Right. And it was the Electrify America. Everybody was stuck at 90 kilowatts.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Thanks again.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate your time.
Take care. Thank you all for watching, and happy trails.